Hi everybody, Westlake here. Hey, we're going to talk a few moments about habits. Right now, if you're considering shedding a few pounds, maybe working on losing some weight, you may be looking at trying to start some good habits. But probably one of the best things that you can do is to begin learning how to avoid some of your bad habits. Let's take a minute here and let's talk about some of these bad habits and how your food, that's right, your food has been engineered in such a way as to make changing some of these habits that you want to change so bad, practically impossible to break or change, at least without some help. Hey, whether we like it or not, we are a product of our habits. It's hard to deny that most all of us, we follow the same routines day in and day out. Most all of us, we eat the same breakfast, and that is if we eat breakfast. We tend to eat the same types of lunches, and the variety of different foods and activities that we take part in, they actually vary very little from day to day throughout our entire lives. What we need to do then is, if we want to begin making change or to change our current ways, then we need to begin making small incremental changes to our daily routines and our daily habits. And that's just the beginning. But that in itself can be a real challenge. Why? Well, let's take a look at a few common foods that are found in our everyday lives and how they are specifically engineered to create more addictive habits, to keep you from ever changing, as if it weren't challenging enough, right? Take into consideration white bread. Now, most of us would agree that, and we know, right, it's not good for us, but we still find ourselves grabbing for it time and time again. It's everywhere, served in most every restaurant. Why is that? Many food products, like white bread, for example, have been engineered in such a way to create a dopamine spike in our brain. Dopamine? Well, dopamine is the reward signal in our brain. It's what makes a lot of illicit drugs addictive. It will give you this euphoric feeling. It's the body's feel-good system, so to speak. Take, for example, when someone bites into a roll, when they sit down to eat at the steakhouse, they bring that basket of hot, buttery rolls out to the table. They may find themselves saying, okay, look, I'm just going to have one roll before dinner, kind of watching the waistline, you know what I mean? But that first roll was probably the easiest one that they could possibly resist. You see, as soon as they bite into that white bread and it hits their mouth, there's going to be these short carbohydrate chains that quickly break down into glucose. This glucose is what causes the dopamine spike in the brain, causing this reward and euphoric feeling, leading us to reach for another. It is so strong, such a strong mechanism, that people will find themselves subconsciously reaching for yet another roll. Ever been there? So how do they do it? I think we know why they do it, right? The reason why they would do that, everybody knows. They want you to eat more. But when you look at the wheat that they use to make these breads and other enriched flour products, the wheat itself has been stripped of many of its key nutrients, such as the wheat bran and the wheat germ. And the wheat germ is what contains the B vitamins and the all-important fibers so necessary to our beings. All that they have left, all that they leave, is the wheat starch. And that is what actually causes the rapid breakdown of those short carbohydrate chains, which turns them into glucose, the glucose that goes on to cause that dopamine spike. This is why we find our children drawn towards white bread, not only because it tastes better, but because it gives them that subconscious euphoric feeling as well. It's a reward mechanism that causes us to come back for more and more. I never realized this, but there's certain sugars in breast milk. Maybe you didn't know that. The sugars in breast milk, which cause children to experience that euphoric feeling when they're breastfeeding. It's nature's way of further engineering that bond between the infant and the parents. Scientists in food companies, they know all about this, right? And they've learned, and now they manipulate our foods using this very same process a little simple sugar spike created without our knowing, simply by altering some of the ingredients. Consider pop or sodas, sugary drinks, athletic drinks. You and I both know that sugary and artificially sweetened drinks, they're not good for us. They too create that dopamine spike in our brain. They too will give us that very same euphoric feeling that the addict himself experiences. You know, we are gravitating towards this food just like a newborn baby does to its mother, because we have ultimately been tricked into thinking that these products are giving us proper signals for a reward, enticing us to eat just one more. We'll discuss this in a bit here in just a few moments. But I want you to understand that the food industry has done its part to hijack our dopamine signal pathway. Now let's take a look at the Zija Weight Management System, because this weight management system will help you in creating some new away from those unhealthy foods, but it is so hard to do because of the onslaught of advertising. We know the manipulated foods that we just talked about that are so easy, right? They're so easy and convenient for us to obtain, and they're very convenient to make. Just pop them in a microwave. Well, the Zija Weight Management System, it's pretty simple too, right? It's easy as 1, 2, 3. It simply gives us 1, the nourishment that our body needs. 2, it helps us to suppress our appetite. And 3, it helps us to cleanse and detoxify our body. Let's talk about these 3 things for just one moment. Consider nutrition. Of course, nutrition's key. Moringa oleifera is the most nutritious botanical on earth, bar none. We need to get our nutrition naturally and not through synthetic multivitamins. In fact, numerous reports out suggest that synthetic multivitamins are correlated with everything from autistic children due to prenatal vitamins to an increase in lung cancer amongst smokers. Multivitamins are found not only in the tablets that we take, but they've also been added into a variety of our foods without us knowing, and they are absolutely damaging to our health. We need to find natural sources for our ingredients. Moringa oleifera is recognized by the scientific and health community as the most nutritiously dense botanical on earth. Moringa oleifera it's not a vegetable, it's not a fruit, it's actually a tree with over 90 verifiable nutrients. It has significantly more nutrients than any other quote-unquote superfood out there. In fact, if you take a look at kale, which is enriched in maybe 2 or 3 nutrients, Moringa oleifera is enriched in over 90, making it the true superfood. Zija uses a genetically pure Moringa oleifera, which allows for us to get those complete nutrients. The Trees of Life Research Group, an independent research group, suggest that you can enrich the nutrients of Moringa oleifera up to 40 times by shade drying the leaves. Well, my friend, Zija not only shade dries the leaves, but they use the leaves, the seeds, and the fruit. And they take it from the most nutritiously dense location of growing, namely India. They then put this moringa, this superfood, into an easy-to-use delivery system, right, where you simply add 12 to 16 ounces of water, you rehydrate the Moringa oleifera leaves, and get the abundance of nutrients into your system. Now, this is designed to be consumed as a food because that's what is recognized by our body as the nutrient delivery system. Our body's not designed to get its nutrients from a capsule or a tablet, but rather from the food or drinks that we consume. Now, how is this important? How is this important to help us overcome the addiction to the everyday engineered foods that we discussed and talked about here just a few moments ago? Our bodies are designed to get its nutrients from the food that we eat. The problem today is we are nutritiously starved. That's right, my friend. Our food sources lack the nutrients of years gone by due to the manipulation, the commercialization, and modern agricultural practices. Now, consider being nutritiously starved. What's our body going to do? Continuously look for more and more food to consume because The only way it knows how to get its nutrients is through food. And if we are programmed to gravitate towards this engineered, this doctored food that we talked about earlier, and we come there in a nutritiously starved state, which is over 85% of the developed world, right, according to independent reports, well, we will find ourselves gravitating towards more of this food, which is nutritiously empty, causing us to be continually hungry with expanded waistlines, right, and lacking energy. We lack energy because our body is unable to convert the caloric energy of these engineered foods into adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, which is what our body recognizes as its true currency. When we give our body the true nutrients it needs, the body is satisfied. It doesn't need to continue to eat to find the nutrients it craves. You follow me? When we give the body the nutrients it needs, it's able to convert calories into energy, because our body is now able to tap into its own energy stores. You know, the energy stores, the ones around our waistline, right? The ones around our chin, and maybe the ones around our arms. So we're going to find ourselves being a little less hungry when we begin using the Zija Supermix and the weight loss or the weight management system. In addition, because we will find ourselves able to convert caloric energy into ATP, now with the abundance of the nutrients that we've gotten or that we received through the moringa, we will find ourselves less tired. You know, a classic symptom of being undernourished and overfed is when we find someone that consumes 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day on their diet, but they're always hungry and they're always being tired. You know, if that's you, then you're simply being nutritiously starved. You need to get nutrients, and Supermix is a natural way in which you can supplement your body to do so. Now, the second part of the Zija Weight Management system that we want to talk about is, you know, we want to increase our metabolism and to suppress our appetite even further. You know, we have here the XM Burn capsules. Now, this is a 2-capsule dose. You can take one in the morning and the other around 11:30, or take both of them first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. These capsules contain powerful, all-natural stimulants that are designed to increase your metabolism and ultimately to facilitate the caloric consumption demand. Now that we're able to convert calories to ATP through the nutrition that we've been receiving, we want to make sure that we continue to grease that pathway to increase our metabolism and to give us energy throughout the day. Zija uses a proprietary blend and powerful natural herbs to help us so we can sequester our appetite, not beyond what is natural, but ultimately to help quiet our appetite, you know, the one which has been artificially stimulated through synthetic and adulterated components, this engineered food. This is the power of the capsule. So in the morning, you simply take the Supermix and 2 XM Burn capsules, or again, you can split them up. Maybe take one first thing in the morning and the other one prior to lunch. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of detoxifying. Step 3 of the weight management system. The weight management system comes with 2 types of tea, a daily and a premium tea. The premium tea should be taken 2 to 3 times a week. I recommend at least 3 times a week. And on the days that you don't drink the premium tea, well, you want to drink the daily tea. You see, the premium tea will detoxify your body through an aggressive detoxification process about 8 hours after you drink the tea. You simply take it in the evening, and about 8 hours later, you will find yourself with a systemic detoxification process. Why is this so important? This is very important because you see your fat cells, as they are releasing fat, they also are releasing a variety of other toxins. Your fat cells are very sticky, oily cells that the body will use to store excess toxins, right? That it's unable to get rid of. Our fat cells, in many ways, absorb these toxins in because they're just sticky, oily cells. And what the body's doing, the body is looking to protect itself. The body will store unwanted toxins that it cannot get rid of in a location as far away from the internal organs as it can, namely in fat cells. It's just a natural way the body uses to protect itself. Now, as we begin to lose weight and we begin to release those fats and convert them into ATP, we're also simultaneously releasing a lot of those toxins into our system. These toxins, example, could be, say, estrogen. Estrogen can promote additional weight gain if it's left in our circulatory system for too long of a period. It's also important for us to remove a lot of the waste buildup that is found in our body. I don't know if you knew this, but the average individual, it is said, to have about 12 pounds of waste in them at any one time. And this is due to the lack of fiber that we find in our diets today. You know, it used to be years ago that the average person consumed about 100 grams a day of fiber. Today, it is said that we are consuming only about 10 grams, which this is causing us ultimately to be unable to detoxify our bodies on a regular basis, leaving us with an increased amount of toxins going through our system, which may be promoting weight gain and a variety of other issues. So as you are tapping into these fat cells, burning them and converting them quickly into ATP, we want to make sure that we detoxify as well to remove a lot of those toxins that may be building up and fighting against our weight loss process. The last thing in the weight management system is what we call our Ameo Trim and Tone Oil. This is a powerful combination of the only clinical grade oil out there in the marketplace that has been proven to work at the cellular level. You simply add a couple drops to the water, to your water, right, that you drink throughout the day. You know, the most demanding molecule in the fat burning process is water. And when you add a couple of drops of the Trim and Tone essential oil to your water that you drink throughout the day, it will accelerate the hydration process of the body. It will promote greater water consumption and facilitate the molecular pathways to convert caloric energy to ATP. Simply add a couple of drops to the water you drink throughout the day. Easy peasy, nothing to it. So the system, the weight management system, consume a super mix in the morning for your nutrition, XM burn capsules to increase your metabolism and curb your appetite and increase your energy. 3, detoxify with the premium tea at least 3 times a week. And when you don't detoxify with the premium tea, you want to take the daily tea on those off nights, right? Because it will help you to manage those portion sizes, and which also will help further make sure that you avoid those late night sugar cravings. Now, this is a powerful system, the Zija Weight Management System, that you can use to help you to reprogram your body to avoid those engineered and adulterated foods that lead us to fill ourselves with a lot of empty calories and unwanted weight, and to help you to establish some good, healthy habits and to lose that weight once and for all. Thanks for watching.